morning. Nice to see you.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Good. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Let me see. Just going to give some people some time to hop on.
Most of the time, it's required to just get on,
Uh-huh.
get on the get on a Chrome, and you have to download, and you have to go to YouTube or Facebook. It was. I'm glad I got on like 10 minutes in advance.
It took a little time, huh?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, I know it's a little bit a little different, so I am aware of that.
Mm.
Right. Good morning. How's it going?
Very well, thanks.
Good. Glad that you're here. Was it easy for you to log on? Was the link complicated?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Cool.
Just me.
William was just saying how it was for him, but I understand.
Was it complicated?
Yeah. You want to explain?
Yeah. You have to download Chrome, and I've done this before with a StreamYard, but every time on my Mac, I got to go download Chrome. I got to paste and copy StreamYard, and I got to go through all of that.
Right. Yeah, it's just a different platform. So honestly, one of the reasons why I wanted to use this platform was because it was a little different. I know that it does have different features, but I'm also aware that it has a few things that, again, like people may get, what's that called, hung up on. And so I just wanted so we could practice that and just see, okay, this is how something works. Because one of the things that we do run into with folks is sometimes it's, the computer literacy is complicated. And so it's like, okay, let's try some of the stuff that's crazy so that people get used to, okay, this is how it works. And it's not, it won't be so crazy as time goes on. Yeah. So yeah, we're just waiting for a few more folks. Just want to give them a chance to hop on. Yeah, when we do get started, we'll get started with some introductions, so people can get to know who's in the room and what we all are up to. So we'll get that going in a bit.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah. Let me see.
Reasons. What's good? My name is Charity Crawford.
All right. What we will be doing today is doing a quiz. I'll be making sure to send that out in just a bit. And I'll be making sure to go over the information so that you all can also participate. What we did do last week, one, we are working on the book, Get That Money, Honey. And that is, we are on chapter 8 right now. We'll be on chapter 9 this week. Chapter 8 actually was really short. And so it, honestly, the book is a really easy read. Once we get you guys the physical copies, you'll see that it's actually more of a workbook. Not only does it have questions in the book, but it has resources that are attached to the book. Once you download your information online, you can actually get more information that she has in other spaces. Yeah, so it has other worksheets that aren't in the book, other questions. It has links to videos, podcasts, episodes, and things like this, so that there's actually a wealth of knowledge in here. And so that's one thing that I want to make sure that we emphasize is reading the book is one thing, but if you do take the opportunity to check out the other readings that she suggests or the other videos and podcasts, you'll get some more things out of the book than just what's in the physical copy. Yeah. And then I'll also make sure to bring this book to you guys as soon as possible. Honestly, I know next Thursday we'll be meeting in person. But I was speaking with my manager last week, not last week, I was speaking with my manager yesterday, and he was letting me know that we should have just an orientation of some sort. So whether or not it's in person, we'll just be able to go over the things that were discussed, that the links that we gave you guys. So whether it's the contracts, it's the first assignments, goal setting, and things like this, so that we have a clear idea of where people want to go and what we want to accomplish for the next number of months. And so we might end up scheduling that either early next week or early the following week, just for you guys to make sure that you all have the information and are ready for what's to come.
That'd be lovely. I think where I had an issue with was accessing the classroom on Google. I tried to log in, but it is like it says when I say you're joining the class as a student and I click OK, it says that it is the wrong account. So I don't know how to go about it. I was trying to log in with my work email where I received all the other emails, but I was not able to log in.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. I will actually look at that. And Naya, let me know if you are able to see anything on your end regarding that. I do know, let me see.
Can you repeat what I'm looking for?
So he was saying that the link that was sent to him, it does not allow him to get inside. He said it's yeah. Can you actually repeat it one more time so that she knows what's going on?
Sure. So I received an email with a link that the classes will be held on Google Classroom. I tried to log in with the email that I received the link at, but I couldn't log in. It kept telling me I don't have the email access is not. Let me try again. It says when I click on Google Classroom and I use my email, my organization email to log in, it says switch to the correct account or contact your teacher. That's what it's saying. Yeah. So I
Okay.
don't know if I was.
What is the email that that we sent it to?
Mokami at mlifefoundation.org.
Okay, and that's different. Is that different from the one you're using?
No, it's the same email.
It's the same email.
Yeah.
Okay, because honestly, I don't see that here. So maybe we need to add that. Let me see. All right, yeah, let me make sure I get that email. All right, I see you're also getting it, Naya. So let me know. You might do it before me. Let me know if you can, if you're sending it.
I did try to send it through Google Classroom, but it said that the domain is not capable of being sent. Do you have a personal email that we can send this over to?
Sure. Can I put it on the chat or you want me to say?
Yes, you can put it in the chat.
Sorry.
Interesting, yeah. And William Palmer, do you have access to Google yet? Google Classroom?
I don't think so. No.
What's your email address?
Let me see. I think it's William M. Palmer 2 at gmail.com. I think that's the one I gave you. I have 2 emails that I use.
Okay.
The other one is William at Life After Next.
Which one would be the best way to contact you?
The William M. Palmer 2.
Okay. Okay. So I'm sending that now. All right. So yeah, check your email. and see if you can see the invite and see if you could open it. Any progress, William?
I don't see it. It just says tonight gun ownership. No, that's Town Hall Central. Enrichment workshop debt management. No.
No. So yeah, so just say Google Classroom in the invite, and again, you can check maybe spam. I don't know if it would go there, but you could check spam and see if it goes there. And how's it going on your end, Moses?
I'm logged in already.
Okay, cool.
Oh
cool.
yeah, there is a there it did go to spam.
Okay, right.
Now I reported it not spam, so it should be in my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with this, I just say join class.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm in the Level Up program.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, that will give us an opportunity for a few things. One is to do the quizzes and for all the information to be logged, to be kept there. Secondly, it'll be a space in which we can converse, post questions, post honestly event invitations. If there's something that we're doing or you guys are doing that you want to invite people to, it can be posted in here on the tab called Stream. Just this last week, I made one post in which it was just a link to a YouTube video that I really liked. And so I wanted to share that with you all. But I'll also use it to engage you all and just continue the conversation, if you will, on days that we're not physically together or virtually together, just so that we're all connecting. And of course, I want you all to be able to converse with one another. So if this gives you a platform to post something or comment on something and hear someone else's thoughts or see someone else's thoughts, that's a great opportunity that this provides as well. Let me see.
So I should start at level 1, level up, or should
So what I would say is the different posts so far. Exactly. So one, yes. In short, yes. Definitely take a chance to look at these videos. And when these are posted, we'll figure out how to get you guys connected correctly with the quizzes that you guys missed. But in the meantime, definitely take a look at the videos that have been posted in your free time, so that you know what has been discussed and what people are not only understanding, but a lot of times what we are doing is asking people what it is that they want to learn. And so we get that information and then ask around for the speakers, the experts around these different subjects to come and talk with you all. And so these are just a couple of speakers that have came already and spoke with the class, again, based on what the class wanted to know about. The first class that we had was on just fiscal management and the importance of having fiscal staff on one's in one's nonprofit organization. The second training was around protecting our intellectual property with trademarks, copyrights, and even he touched a little bit on patents. And so that was also information specifically for the people who are teaching, are having workshops, hosting workshops, and they want to maybe have bigger audiences, maybe have a chance to go to different places. And when that happens, how to protect ourselves, because what can happen, what has happened is that some people present somewhere, share some information, and then someone else takes all of that information and then shares it to their respective crowd or whatever, without giving credit to the people that created the workshop in the first place. And so whether or not we want to have some type of physical or digital booklet, we can have a chance to protect our information such that if someone else is using it, we can let them know, that's our stuff. You can't use that, please cease and desist. But also just for the sake of even understanding how important that can be, especially when, again, we are working with other nonprofits, working with other businesses, and how, we may not keep our job or we may not stay with that company, but they may keep all of our content and keep all of the things that we created. And so we definitely want to protect ourselves from those situations.
Yeah. I ran into that at least at my last job for sure. Even before that, she wanted me to create a book for credible messengers. And I slow dragged because I was like, am I going to do all this work and you guys are going to have all of my intellectual property? And eventually, because it wasn't really a part of my job, she gave it to someone who she actually hired to write a book. My job was to write books or what was it, syllabuses or something like that, workbooks. And so that person did it and they still got their intellectual property snatched,
Right. Right. And so that's something that did come up in the conversation. So definitely check that out. There was one student that said that they really are very careful about what they create with the company and using the company's infrastructure, if you will, or using the laptop, the computer, so on and so forth. Right. For instance, I have a friend that worked at Cash App, and once they ended up letting her go, but once they let her go, of course they locked her out of everything, and they kept the laptop and so forth. And so there's the first part with, okay, you have my laptop is, okay, do I have anything on there that I really wished wasn't on there and that now that they get to see? But the other part is all of the brainstorming, all of the slide decks and all those things that you created with that company and on that piece of equipment is theirs. It's completely theirs. And you may, have it here to some degree. But of course, if it's all stored there, it's all pretty and shiny on the computer, then you might have to start all over from scratch. And so we definitely want to protect ourselves from that. And of course, it also spoke to the power that the photographer has or the videographer has when we do record things. If we have someone record something for us, unless it's written down that it's ours, it's theirs. And so we have to be very careful not to have the proper information signed, have the proper documentation, especially when it when we are thinking, okay, I want to use this information and I want to take this information, abroad. I want to take this information to other places. How do I make sure that I retain it? If in the event they want to either take this information from me or use it to their own advantage. Yeah, yeah.
I had an issue with that
Hmm.
photography. We traveled to, it wasn't Ghana. I think we were in Sierra Leone or something, and we
Hmm.
brought one of the missionaries from Atlanta to take the pictures, and
Mm.
they got like really nice shots of the place. And when we
Hmm.
requested, they sent us an agreement and
Uh-huh.
told us the pictures we should use. And then I was like, "We paid for your trip. What do you mean? What do you mean you're only getting 3 pictures? Like this is not making sense to me." Then they're like,
Hmm.
"Oh, under the US law, I own the copyright." And I was like, "Yeah." It was really a hard lesson because we had to do a whole shoot all over again.
Oh man,
And
right,
that's when I learned. That's when I learned about that idea of the work for hire. Like you have to be very clear that this is work for hire, and when they take the
right.
picture, you own the copyright. Oh my God, it was so messy because we had gotten a grant from Ford Foundation, and part
Hmm.
of it was storytelling. So we were going to use those pictures, those videos to tell our stories. And the
Hmm.
guy said, "No, no, 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 no. I own the copyright. Those were my pictures." I'm like,
Right,
"What do you mean? You were not even traveling there. We
right.
paid you." So they're like, "Nah." And we had
Hmm.
to let it go. Like they were like that was legit. I was really confused at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And so, especially, right, when we're thinking about content that very unique, right? We spent a lot of money to get to the right location. We got the right people. We got all the good stuff. That's especially when we want to go, oh man, yeah, we got to make sure all this is taken care of because honestly, I'm sure that one question was, what are you even going to do with it? Uh, how is it going to benefit you, right?
Mhm.
And of course, you never know. They may have it on their website and say, well, this is what I can do and this is what I've done. But our hearts would love to believe that people wouldn't do those types of things.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people will.
That's
So yeah, we have to be careful with that. Yeah, yeah. One participant said that her a picture was taken of her and was on an advertisement, and it was like on a bus sign, so it was like humongous, and they had to go look it up and go find. Okay, wait, who took this picture? Two, how come I wasn't notified about it or anything like that? And so those types of things, we could find ourselves slipping through the cracks because at first it may not be a big deal, honestly. Sure, take a picture, or sure, you can do this with me or for me. And in time, you find out how they're able to use that as an opportunity to make so much money or to help a company make so much money. And so they got paid so much because they took the picture, and you'll find out that you're the only one that didn't get paid. So
so
that's cool.
our pictures ended up being on Adobe, so I still see some of them even now. Like I have
Right.
half of the time. This guy sent me the link because he was an Adobe professional, so like he could sell his pictures on Adobe. So like
Hmm.
all the shots that were really really good,
Hmm.
he had uploaded them there, and
Right.
we had no choice but we went and started buying those pictures one by one that we
Right.
actually like, and it was really crazy because how much he was trying to charge us. We ended up getting it at a cheaper. Adobe was charging us $79 per picture, but
Hmm.
how much that guy wanted per picture was so expensive, and we ended up
Right.
doing Adobe. And sometimes when I'm looking for pictures when we are designing, I still see some of them, and it's crazy when I tell people the story. I'm like, that picture I was there, and this person did this, and they're like, that's not true. And then I showed them
Right.
now the pictures I had taken with my phone, and they're like, oh my
Uh-huh.
god.
Right. Right. They're like, you were right there. I was right by the camera, man.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's crazy.
Wow. Right. Right. No, that's really That's really crazy.
So, quick
Um,
question for you,
mhm,
digressing.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
when we read from quiz 1 to quiz 7, is the quiz specifically focused on the guest speakers? So, I've already gone through like a highlight, like just really high level looking. I'm not read keenly. Is the quizzes based on the book or of the speakers, what they share?
Yeah, so they have been both based on the speaker and in the book.
Okay.
And so again, that's what I'll have to do is make sure that I create some for you guys to just get the book questions or or find a way to catch you up with those speakers in particular.
Okay.
What I Yeah, because what we're learning in 1 week consisted of both the speaker and the book's information, and I just coupled those into one. Um, but so yeah, definitely, I would say today when we do our quiz, make sure you have all the information that you need.
Mhm.
But for the previous quizzes, um, don't worry about taking those just yet. We'll figure out a way to again get that information to you all.
Awesome.
So, am I able to go on this link to Amazon and get the book? Do I have to pay for it, or is it what?
So yeah, so the way that the link works is that it is connected to Audible, and Audible is a book service that
Mm-hmm.
stores books, and we can at the listen to them at our discretion. Um, so it would be free technically, but it really is like $10-15, but you're really just paying for the subscription. You're not paying for the actual book.
Oh, so if I
Um,
already got an Audible subscription, it's just going to be free for me.
possibly you may just right now you may have to end up using one of your credits.
Oh,
Um,
that's fine.
yeah. Um, but yeah, that's what it's a audiobook link. Yeah.
And you can see
Um,
that is the information is the same with the paperback, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally the same. So, and then again, we do have copies of those that we can give you when we do see you in person. But yeah, it's the exact same information.
Mm,
The only thing that's different would be when she does have she asks the questions inside of the audiobook, but in the actual book she has space to write down answers, and she has more space even honestly to have other types of conversations, and so the book just has a little bit more stuff in it.
mm.
Yeah, but in terms of the information, it's definitely all in the audiobook as well. um, so what I want to do again, I see that Tisha is trying to log on. Um, Let me see. What Tisha, are you there?
I am. I just couldn't hear you for a minute, so I had left out and came back in.
Okay, that's good. So we did get started just a little bit, and honestly, so I am getting connected with these individuals, and actually there could be a couple more people that can join. So I did give there a little space for people to be able to join the conversation. But what I wanted to do was give everyone a chance to introduce themselves. I actually wrote a couple of questions, and what I can do is type those in the chat so that we have a reference point. But I have name, course, organization, cause, or say or, and then how long has your organization been around, and what made you want to join the Level Up program? And so, if we can get started with Tisha, because she's been here since February. If you could just share a little bit about yourself, and we can pass it around after that.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Watisha Patterson. Sorry for the couple of technical difficulties. Seem to always want to happen during these moments. But I'm looking, well, my program right now is called T-Shirts and Themes. We are like a holistic program that helps children to deal with sensory and mental health through colors and materials. So we create our own customized items while allowing the children to make money doing so, but also working through their emotional and social health, just like going through the colors, going through their emotions, helping them to filter through materials and different types of materials, and we measure the metrics by the way that they go from the color scale, from black to the brighter colors. And so, yeah, it's still in the works. We're still working on it, but we're definitely on a path to making something great with the youth here in San Francisco. So I'm looking forward to getting through this program and learning all that I can while I'm here. Thank you for having me.
My mic is off. I'm sorry. Can you go next, Moses? And actually, can you say your first name too, so that we can get a chance to try to grasp it.
I will spell it out here.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easiest way to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mwangi.
Okay.
Yeah, Mwangi. And the gi, it's like gi. It's like you're pronouncing gi. So it's Mwangi. And
Mm-hmm.
then the last name is almost like Japanese. It sounds the way it's pronounced, Mokami.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm the founder of M Life Foundation. We are a 501c3 faith-based organization that bring children between the ages of 14 and 24 from culturally diverse background for a 1-year leadership program. And we use newspapers as the incentive for the kids to learn for a whole year. We will take different op-eds and stories, and we'll dig them in depth and connect them to the classroom. Our focus is usually on leadership, communication, entrepreneurship, and fundraising.
Mm.
And then after the kids have finished a whole year with us here in San Francisco, we fundraise and pay for a 10-day trip to Kenya. And they are able to learn about African culture, people, hospitality, and all that good stuff. And we've been doing this for the last 6 years. We've taken a total of like 45 children from the time we started 2015. And so this July, we're going to take the largest group. We have 19 children going with us. And so we are currently fundraising for it. And that is why I wanted to join the program. I feel like we've been operating in a silo since most of our board members are from Africa, but we're passionate about connecting African Americans and Africans. We've not really engaged the Black community here in San Francisco around the importance of this. And so we've been like talking to and fundraising within our own community, right? Just within Kenyan churches, Kenyan CBOs, Kenyan what. And so now this year we wanted to get out of that and really connect to African American communities and really see if this is something that could be forges a partnership across. And so joining this program is to help me think through those things and see how I can even raise more money to bring adults and professionals to Africa for an exchange visit.
Nice. No, that sounds really great. And honestly, glad that you joined and are making that effort. I do know that, having that community here that you can really connect to already definitely helps to get things going. And then making the introductions, if you will, into the African American community. I know for sure that there are people who are who would love for kids, or like you even mentioned, young adults, to be able to go and participate, be around people that can make introductions to places in Africa. And so that's definitely one, unique, but then two, very helpful. So definitely glad that you joined.
Awesomeness.
Awesome. All right, William, can you share yourself, your organization, and what you guys do?
Yes, my name is William Palmer. My organization is Life After Nets. Our mission is to walk with those who are reentering the community all the way to their home. We're looking to buy property so that we can provide transitional housing, either from incarceration or foster care, or just having a tough time in life, and just need to be reacclimated to, you know, living in society. So that's our mission. You know, we do a lot. I personally advocate for youth offenders who went into prison, adult prison at a young age, under the age of 18 for sure, but now all the way up to 25. We're trying to get the age, I believe it's at 23 right now, but we're working for anybody under the age of 25 is a youth offender and should be treated as such. Uh, our organization's been around since 2021. And I joined this program because I was a youth offender at 17 years old. I tried to commit armed robbery. And because I'm from Riverside, California, the victim was an off-duty Riverside police officer. They gave me a life sentence, life with the possibility parole in 7 years, plus 2 for the gun that was unloaded. And I was supposed to get out at 26 and 27 years old, and they held me till I was 48. And it wasn't until I was 45 that I decided to take them to court. And by taking them to court and using a rare and unknown regulation in the Title 15 governing the Board of Parole hearings, which is errors of facts, I was able to get into the first appellate district court instead of going back down to Southern California and going through the Superior Court. I was able to leapfrog and get into a district court that had a more liberal judge, and he took my case, and the rest was history. I not only liberated myself, but 1,200 plus and growing other youth offenders that are still getting out today. And so I joined this program because I wanted to be a better executive director. Instead of always being mad at the system, I need to be more strategic, more chess playing. Like I know how to play chess, so I need to play chess instead of checkers with these people. And so in order to do that, I need a good, strong foundation. I always say that I'm also known as Soul Brother Number 9. I'm on KPLO on Tuesdays from 12 to 4, just in case y'all want to tune in. I always say that my soul parents are Harriet Tubman and Malcolm X. If they had a child, it would be me. So I need to be able to be more like my parents instead of that rebel child that I was. So I need some professionalism from y'all.
Awesome. Great to hear it. And again, glad to hear your story too. Again, I know that you mentioned that to myself and Miss Newton back in November when we connected, and yeah, honestly, it sounds so powerful. I'm wondering, like, how often do you get a chance to share what's going on, and even I'm thinking about the means by which people got the information about your case, and like you were saying, like the rarely used. I want to say whether it was a law or
A regulation.
Yeah, regulation. Was it something that you studied and found yourself, and you were like, wait, what's this? How does this work? How did you stumble upon that yourself?
So after my 10th denial of parole at 45, I lost both my parents by the age of 40. I turned to O'Melveny Myers, who's not headquartered, but has an office here in San Francisco and in Embarcadero too. and they've been working on my case for about 10 years at least, if not more, and just kept getting into the same roadblock. So after the 10th hearing, I said, hey, let me help you help me. And instead of waiting for somebody to do something for me, I went to the law library and I studied at the feet of men who are incarcerated, who knew the law better than most judges and attorneys. And I said, give me what I need to know. And so they started me on basic information. I started studying this case of Roy Butler, called Henry Butler, who was challenging setting our terms, which discovered the 40-year scheme that they were keeping all lifers in, like the tough on crime bills that they were passing. And Aubrey, his name is Aubrey, I can't remember his full name, was just a library of information. So I learned this word jurisdiction, and I studied jurisdiction and who had me. How did I come into prison, and how are they able to keep me, and how am I able to get out? And so then I understood that case was in another district, which doesn't preclude you from going there, but they have districts to keep it kind of fair and even on the judges, so that not everybody goes to one thing. So it was a code in the regulation dealing with the board of parole hearings called errors of facts. And if within 180 days, if you're able to show them that they made an error in your board hearing, then you will automatically skip the appeal process to them, which they rubber stamp no, and go directly to the courts. And so I knew that they would say no. So I put a whole list of things for them to say no to, and then what I wanted. And from there, it just evolved into a phenomenal strategy that they since have been able to stop anybody else from using.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's so crazy. And even having that inclination, right, to go, I should, you know what, you guys don't have the information. Clearly, like, you guys aren't helping me the way I need to help. Let me go get started, let me start figuring this out. And honestly, I feel like that very spirit is probably what allows people to not only start an organization, start a business, but keep things going and keep finding ways to make things happen. Because what we recognize, whether it's in our community or somewhere around where we are, is that something needs to happen. And if no one's doing it, then it might as well be us, So I definitely love that you shared that, and that you're expressing that spirit, because that is what allows a lot of folks to manage to keep things going with their business or with their organization. And so honestly, I just wanted to share just a little bit about myself. I actually applied for this position with YCD in 2021, at the end of 2021. And when they gave me, when we first started this program, what we discussed was the need to help out smaller nonprofits in San Francisco, specifically Black-led nonprofits, and that we could receive money for this from the Dream Keepers Initiative that is also headed by the HRC. And when we began to discuss this, that we want to help folks who are founders, who are trying to figure out how to get the company going, how to get the organization off the ground, it immediately brought me to my own network and experience in the Bay Area. I have a number of friends, one of which we've connected with, again, that came and spoke with us about the trademarking and so forth. But a number of friends that have spoken already and will speak in the future are folks who started nonprofit organizations that I went to school with, started nonprofit organizations that I met somewhere in the community, whether it's at an event or something, maybe even social media. But I definitely am around and have been around the nonprofit sector for a number of years. And so I'm intentionally locating the folks. Oh, somebody has this question. you know who knows. Let me call her. Let me email him. Let me get this person to come and talk with them to share what that is like to not only want to do something, but to go through all the hurdles, right? And that's one thing that we definitely acknowledge is present when it comes to starting an organization or a business, is that there will be hurdles. There will be difficulties. There will be complications. There will be dry spells. However, speaking to the existence of a number of organizations that are still around, YCD being one of them, that people can make it through. And I would say whether it's the same people or not, whether we have to bring in different leadership and get help from people that weren't originally with the company, that a company can last from, more than 5 years to 10 to 15 to 50. And that was just bringing, honestly, these real questions of not only what do we want to do with our organization, but what would we like to see our organization do, even when we're no longer involved, no longer the ones doing the work, because that's the power of a company, the power of an organization. It can honestly outlive us. We could be dead and gone, and our company and organization can still thrive in our absence. And so those are the types of things that I'm really making sure to bring to you all. When we have more conversation, I definitely want to make sure that we get very clear on the things that you understand that you may be missing, and any other information that we can gather from folks who have already walked those paths, who have already, got the bruises, they got the t-shirt, they made the mistake, they hired the wrong person, they found the right person, they got to the wrong building, they got into the right building, whatever it is, and give you guys connections, not only their information, but connect you with them so that if you do have questions in the future, they could be in your network, they could be someone that you can call and seek advice from as well. Honestly, I've loved doing this, and really look forward to continuing to connect folks with you all. The people that have come are either from the East Bay or from San Francisco. They have organizations that have maybe been around for 5 years. Some have been around for 12 to 15 years. And so again, these are some folks that I know that have been through it. And so I definitely look forward to you guys all meeting them, as well as getting the information that you need from them. One thing that I want to do is, again, make sure that you guys have the information for the quiz that we want to do. So I know, Watisha, that we did meet last week, and since then we have been looking at chapter 8, and we have also heard from myself, in which I was talking about personal development. So last week we made sure to talk about personal development, because one thing that we have recognized is if our life is complicated at the moment, or complicated for a period of time, this can and will have sometimes a indirect effect on our organization, and sometimes a very direct effect on our organization. And so one thing that I really want to make sure that we always understand is the importance of taking care of ourselves, the importance of taking care of our personal matters, using wisdom, gaining wisdom, and an understanding of how to take care of certain things, and doing that to the best of our ability. And I bring up the fact that in talking with some of the leaders that I have spoken with before, that when we have a perspective that does not necessarily value ourselves, but really values the work, really values the clients, we're skipping over two really important aspects, or two important subjects. The first is ourselves. So if we're really focused on the people out there, we may not be thinking, how am I eating? How am I sleeping? How am I? How are my relationships going? And of course, how is my money being managed? Maybe that's not that important at the moment because we're so focused on the effect that we want to have. The second group of people that end up suffering, apart from our family, because those are people that suffer as well, are our employees, right? And so if we are brought on 4 people to 12 people to 30 people, and we don't care about what they're going through, and what we're really thinking about is what we're here to accomplish, that can end up showing up as well, right? And so what you can end up finding is people are dissatisfied with their job, and so they're probably not doing it the way that they could be. Either they're dissatisfied with their job and they're intentionally not doing what they should be doing, or they just aren't being taken care of at the office, and so they're only able to produce so much for the organization, right? Because they aren't really taken care of. And so in more than one case, have I heard one of the leaders say, the people in my organization were not being taken care of well, and I had to get somebody who really cared about them to also care for the people in my organization. I was personally so focused on the impact we were trying to have. I was so focused on the big picture that when a coworker had a complaint, or a coworker, or rather an employee had a complaint, an employee had a concern, I would be like, suck it up. Suck it up, buttercup, whatever it is, right? Like, get over it. Why are you crying? Are you serious right now? That type of vibe and energy. And more than it was rewarding in the end, more than it actually helped out the people or the organization in the end, it began to slowly negatively impact the organization and what they were trying to accomplish. And so that is just a little bit of the importance of why we want to talk about the personal development things, how we look at ourselves, how much we value ourselves, because that will definitely be reflected in how much we value our employees, how much we value our the people down the line for us, because we may be so passionate and driven about the particular cause that we forget about, for instance, the car, the vehicle, so focused on the destination that we're not making sure that the oil is in there, has gasoline, it's clean, it's not weighed down by 1,000 things in the trunk. We want to make sure that we're taking care of the vehicle while we are focused on getting to that destination. So what I'm going to do, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to read to you all this, if you will, passage that I wrote. All the answers are here. So I want you guys to take notes. If you guys have your phones, you have any writing utensils, whatever you need, make sure that you take notes, because once I say all these things, everything's in there. All the answers, you're going to look at the quiz, you're going to go, oh, he just said that. Okay. So this is partially because of the way that once when I was in college, one of my teachers did this, and I never saw this from any other teacher. My imagination would always say, okay, she wanted us to read this, but when she's talking, she's just talking. She's just sharing her stories and so on and so forth. But what we got to focus on is what she told us to read. And sure enough, I started looking at the test and I go, everything she said is right here. And I paid attention to what we read, but that's only 50, 60% of what's on the paper. But she made a very cognizant effort to only say what was on the quiz and to quiz everything that she said. So it wasn't just like, some stuff didn't matter. Everything that she said mattered. And I thought that was a really, honestly, a great model for making sure that everybody had the right information. So actually, I'm going to pull this up right now. Do you guys have things to write with or things to take notes in?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's all going to be right here. Okay, cool. Okay. Watisha, do you have something to write with, or you have a?
I do.
You do? Okay. Okay. So it's all okay. We're good. All right. Here we go. Last week we took some time to talk about the importance of self-care and personal development while we were establishing a nonprofit organization. Eric Thomas is a speaker that I watched online and even met in person. In one of my favorite videos, he talks about how the winning circle is necessary. He says that the winning circle will help you to achieve your best results. Will Smith talks about this in his book when he met a trainer on the set of Ali. All nonprofit, all nonprofit and for-profit companies are founded by visionaries. Visionaries have a gift to see what could be with some hard work and consistency. However, one struggle that visionaries often have is an inability to focus. They see one thing, but they see many other possibilities at the same time. When learning from someone, they may pick up a bunch of information at once. Therefore, one thing that is important to do as a visionary is listen to one voice. We also talked last week about building a winning circle. We know that sometimes our winning circle is made up of friends and family. However, sometimes the best way to make new connections in life is to make them virtually. In the book, Get That Money, Honey, Rhea Wong's focus in chapter 8 was the Jeffersonian dinner. She made it clear that this was not a time to pitch your organization. More than the Jeffersonian dinner is a good fundraiser, it is designed to cultivate donors and community members. The Jeffersonian dinner provides a unique level of intimacy between the guests because they are about Jeffersonian dinners are about having a great conversation. Um, there is one single question that is asked, and each person gets 2 to 3 minute slots to answer the question. The Jeffersonian dinner is supposed to be between 90 and 120 minutes with a hard start and a hard stop time. Once the dinner is over, you will not only have a better understanding of your potential donors, but they will have a better connection to you and your network. Since it is not a fundraiser, money will not be raised on this very night, but it does give you some talking points when the time is right for the big ask. Okay. So honestly, it's all in there. It's all in there. On the quiz, there will be 8 questions, 4 from the discussion that we had last week, and then 4 from that book. Let me make sure that I send it out to you all right now. It's going to show up on Google Classroom if everything goes accordingly. So let me open it up so that just to make sure. Okay, cool. And honestly, I want to say one more thing. I see that there's one question that is not contained in there. One of the best things about this is that once she began to use the Jeffersonian dinner, she was never turned down for a meeting after this. Basically, she was really getting at the fact that it was a great way to build a connection and rapport with these particular people. And because it was very tight and it went really well, people were open to whatever event she hosted after that because they knew that she could throw a great event. So she was never turned down after that meeting. Let me see. In this. Let me put in. The email address isn't showing up for William Palmer. William Palmer, it was William, was it William P. Palmer or M. Palmer? What was
M.
that? M. Palmer?
Yeah.
Okay. And 2@gmail.com.
Yeah. Here. I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay. And then for Moses, I do, what is the email address again? Just so that I make sure.
It's in the private chat at the top.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to send that to you all right now. Let me know if you can see it. There have been times where it gives people the power to edit it. Let me know if that's the case, and we can send another one.
You sent it to our emails.
I send it right now, so it should be just now arriving.
Okay.
Yeah, to the emails.
Okay, I got mine. So you want us to do this later, right?
No, if you guys can do it now, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys can do it now, that would be great. Let me know if it's keeping all the right info. All right. Let me know if you guys have finished. I know that it can show up too. So it always looks like we have 2 responses. Okay. So it looks like I just need 1 more. One more. Okay, cool. All right. And who is still working on it? And how much more time do you think you need?
I turned mine in.
Okay, cool.
Forgot to hit the button. I apologize.
It's all good. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. Okay. All right, looks like we got all of them right except 1. And so I will take credit for it. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I did. Looks like, okay, there's a couple. So I'll go back. I don't know why this one's at the top. Maybe they're just doing that for as for the teachers. But so the first one, everyone got correct with regard to the winning circle. I will share a couple of videos with you guys on that on Google Classroom and probably by the end of the day, because the videos about that are really good. I really like it. The second thing is our inability to focus. That's really difficult for visionaries. One thing that's really important that everyone got right is to listen to one voice. Another thing is that we can make connections with folks virtually. We both can have attested to that in our speaking last week. She made it clear through this that the Jeffersonian dinner is not the time to pitch your organization. I want to just say that one more time, because what she has mentioned that a couple times in the book, and when you guys get a chance to read it, you'll see that she does say that there is a time to pitch, but there are times where we're not supposed to be pitching the organization, because we don't want it to be focused on what we are supposed to be saying. Rather, we want to take the time to listen to other people. And so she does talk about pitching in this book, as well as messaging, but she does make it clear that there is a time and a place to pitch our organizations. More Than the Jeffersonian Dinner is good for fundraising. It is designed to cultivate donors, which was really big. That word, a very choice word that she breaks down in chapter 7 or 6, I believe. How long is the Jeffersonian dinner supposed to be? 90 to 120 minutes. One of the powers of participating and hosting a Jeffersonian dinner is that I've never been turned down for a meeting after this. And so that is the correct answer. We just have one person that got that one wrong. And this is one also that looks like we got wrong. So as opposed to a gala, a Jeffersonian dinner provides a unique level of intimacy. So I do know the words are similar, like the options was familiarity, comfortability, connectivity. But the word that she used in particular was intimacy. And she really spoke about that being great because, again, what we wanted to do more than anything at the Jeffersonian dinner is to build relationship. And when she talks about galas, they're great for, shouting out all the sponsors and giving recognition to the people who gave the most and who helped us the most to reach our goals. But it's not a great time for the executive directors to sit down and talk with someone. They're probably working the room. They have a lot to do. And so this is an opportunity to meet with a few different people at once. It doesn't have to be a large gathering, or it shouldn't be a large gathering. But it is an opportunity to meet with a small group of people and really get a chance to sit, hear, listen, get to know the other people in the room, eat together, right? That is definitely part of it. But definitely meeting in an intimate environment and an intimate, having an intimate conversation. So those are one of the things that she emphasized about that dinner. So honestly, what we can do, I will be reaching out to yourselves and other folks who actually didn't make it today. There is at least, I want to say at least 2 more people that should have been here. There may be 2 more other people that we may have to talk to and see. Maybe again, it could be connection issues. It could be technical. I didn't know how to log on, the whole 9. And so we will be discussing that with them. But for next week, I definitely want you all, we do have chapter 9, and chapter 9 is actually the last chapter in the book. And so for next week, we want to make sure that we are reading that. And for the folks that are new, I would say you can, in the meantime, also take some notes and check out chapter 1. Honestly, the book isn't super long and super difficult. So if you want to go through a few chapters or a couple chapters next week, that's totally fine. Just let me know, and I could try to get a quiz or something over to you so that we can start to help you with that in particular. But also we'll be connecting on Monday. So Monday or Tuesday, because I have people I meet with on Monday as well. But Monday or Tuesday to have the one-on-one meetings. And also if there's any other questions you want to ask, we can connect about those on Monday as well, or Tuesday. We have our one-on-one check-in. But for next week, I have a speaker coming in. He actually has a presentation that he gave to us in our last cohort. His name is Terry Griffin. And he's going to be talking to us about the best ways to use social media and to increase our visibility using social media. And it's going to be more of a hands-on, if you will, meeting. And so that will give us a chance to learn a couple of skills, how these things work. And then again, how to make our post maybe get the most, attract the most attention and be discovered by the most people. He has some great tips. I've worked with him before. And again, definitely helps with increasing our following and getting more people's attention. Yeah, I think that'll be it for now. Or does anyone have any questions before we part ways?
No, we just go to our classroom, read all the things that we missed, and we should be all caught up, right?
Yeah. Again, don't feel pressured to try to take it in all by next week. I would say give yourself some time to listen and digest it, take notes and things. Um, Again, we'll be talking individually by next Tuesday, and in that time, I will definitely be getting more information about what you guys are here to learn and how we can. Who already said that and gave us information on that, but who we can also bring in to give you further training or assistance with that. What I would want to emphasize is the SMART goal portfolio. It is brought up in the agenda. And Nia, did we send over a link for that? I just want to make sure. There should be a link for the SMART goal portfolio, in which it's really just gives us an opportunity to state what our goals are. What we want to have happen is everyone have some type of goal that they're reaching for while in the organization, while in the program, so that we can see, how we can help you along that journey to get that accomplished while you're here. In particular. So make sure that you take the time to write those things down so that we can have a focus while you're here, and we can do our best to aid you along that path.
And you said we may be meeting in person so you can hand off the book. Do you know when that's going to be?
So that will at least be, thank you, Nia. So Nia just put the link into the into the chat for the SMART Goals portfolio. For the in-person meetup, we will definitely be meeting on Thursday. If we can somehow try to meet on Tuesday or Wednesday, we can try to schedule that, and that will give us an opportunity to discuss a number of things in person. I definitely want to, get an idea of you guys' schedules first, and if you guys can show up if you guys can show up, two, where we can have the meeting, because I also have to connect with our building, if you will, supervisor that will give us a room to actually meet in. And so just for now, do you guys have any availability on your schedule for next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
So I will actually be away starting Sunday through Saturday. I'm heading to Geneva for a UN conference, and then that's it. That's the only trip I have coming up this next week.
Okay, cool. And actually, I know I spoke with Nancy as well, and I believe Nancy is going to be going on that same trip. She has an organization as well. So yeah, I'm aware of that. So thanks for sharing that. That is what we may end up having there for when you guys come back, because that would actually make two people that would be going to the UN conference. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. So yeah, maybe we could try to schedule it for the following week.
Okay.
I'm free.
Right. So what we'll do is we'll brainstorm on our end. If there is a way for us to still get you that information before ahead of time, we'll do that. But we'll definitely be able to meet you in person on next Thursday. And for yourself, Moses, as well as anyone else who misses next week, if we're able to meet the following week, we can make sure we get you guys the books and stuff then too.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so I will talk with you all soon. But yeah, if anything comes up, I'll reach out to you guys via Google Calendar. But we'll definitely be talking either basically be talking on by Tuesday of next week.
Okay.
All right. You guys have a great one, and make sure you just check out all the things that we have sent out and slowly process it. Take notes where you can. don't feel like you have to just throw it all in and not really process it all.
All right.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right. I will talk with y'all soon.
All right. Thanks.
No problem.